Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the WPS podcast. That is Why People Suck. I'm Celia, and I'm joined by my co host, best friend, and sister, Alejandra.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be back for another episode where we call out all the ways people are super annoying and talk about what we can actually do about it. We say it so you don't have to. In today's episode, we're going to continue our generational series. We've had a lot of fun with this, I think. Today, we're going to be talking about why millennials suck. Now, I am a millennial. So are you, Celia. Millennials are born between 1981 to 1996. They're also known as Generation Y. And I love millennials, obviously, because I am a millennial and I think that we're the best. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to say anything bad about us.
No, I know. I agree. I think we are the best generation for sure. And I agree with you. But there are some things that I know people say are annoying about us, people who are older and younger. So these are the things that I was going to bring up. I won't necessarily agree, but the point of this is for
Yeah.
us to talk about all generations, so we will be fair.
Yes. Yes, we will be fair. However, I will restate over and over again throughout the episode how amazing we are.
Yeah. And how when we're in charge of stuff, we're going to make the world a better place. We're manifesting that right now.
Yes, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
millennials are famously known for being the generation to widely use digital tech, like computers, social media in our youth. And also on the flip side, we're also the last generation to know and remember a world before all of that. So it's kind of a transitional era. And I think it's a little bit of a nostalgia meets the future kind of, which is what makes us, I think, like worldly, right? Because like we still remember a world where we would play outside all the time. And we also grew up with social media and with technology. So we pioneered how the world is going to look as far as social media and technology goes. I don't know why, but millennials to me always, it reminds me of the movie The Sandlot. Like they spent the entire summer playing baseball and they spent years doing that. And then, they all grow up and eventually go and do their own thing or whatever. But to me, I just love The Sandlot. My kids just watched it for the first time and they loved it. And I was like, that's what I remember summers being like, just like being outside, going out to ride my bike, going out to play whatever, and not really watching TV a whole lot. I don't really remember. Of course, I remember watching movies and stuff, but it was not a primary thing that I did. It was definitely like okay, end of the day, I'm exhausted. Now I'm going to watch a movie type thing. But most of the time it was spent playing outside.
Yeah, same. No, that was the best time. I remember coming home
Yeah.
from school and playing with our neighbors. And when I went back home with my friends to their houses, we would just hang out outside. At that point, I remember,
Mhm.
like, even in second grade, we had like home computers, but we would just use it to look up, I don't know, Lizzie McGuire or something like that. It wasn't like we were obsessed with that being online, and we saw YouTube begin and watching the ridiculous videos that were like, I don't know,
Yeah.
30 seconds long.
Do you remember dial-up internet? Oh my gosh.
Yes, I do remember.
Like, I remember mom being like, "Get off the internet, use the phone," and then if, like, somebody picked up the phone, then it would cut your connection. You're like, "Mom, I was on AOL chatting with someone." And now that's just, like, not a thing. Like, people do not understand what it was like to, first of all, have a home computer that you had to share with everybody, and second of all, having to share the time and be like, "I'm gonna be on the internet for the next hour. Nobody pick up the phone," or whatever. That
Yeah.
was so wild.
And then no, it's still crazy, but now then one of the things that boomers talk about with us is that we're, like, chronically online, but that wasn't always the case. And
Mhm.
as we said with the boomers episode, they're also chronically online too, so they can't really be pointing fingers
Oh,
at
yeah.
us. The whole world is online, and I do think that we are a little bit too addicted to it. We need to get back to nature and stuff. So I think
Yeah.
that's a fair negative point they have against us, but it's not just us. So there's that.
No. I also feel like maybe boomers, they're on so much because they're trying to make up for lost time, kind of. Like, they send so many videos all the time. They're like, "Watch this 45-minute video," and I'm like, "No, I don't have time for that. How did you have time for that?"
Yeah, no, totally. Don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
And don't tell me that I should watch it in parts either. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Like, mom will send a video and she'll be like, "It's really long, but just watch it 5 minutes at a time," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna do that. Sorry.
yeah.
If it's not 5 minutes or less in total, I'm not doing it."
No, that's not gonna
Give me the Cliff
happen.
Notes.
Yeah,
Oh my god, do you remember Cliff Notes? Is that still a thing?
I have no idea. I do remember it though, like for middle
Yeah.
school and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. Um,
Yeah.
Another thing that boomers always complain about with us is that supposedly we overspend, and you know this stereotype of the avocado toast and the coffees? They love to
Yeah.
complain about us overspending and thinking that's why we can't own a house. So, I know that
Mhm.
it's true that we definitely do spend more on experiences and we're on vacation more, but in a way, that's a good thing because we're seeing the world and stuff. And also,
Mm.
you know what? Not going on that vacation isn't gonna help me buy a house, as we were saying. So, yeah, maybe we do overindulge a little, but hey, like, it is true, it is the economy's fault, which is another thing they
Mhm.
complain about. They're always saying that we complain about how the economy is causing, like, all our shortcomings or whatever, and it's like, well, actually, it's a fact, though. I know we
That's a
do
fact.
complain a lot, but I think it is justified. So, I am giving
Yeah.
them, like, some of these things that they're saying about us are true, but we have to see it with a grain of salt because there is reasoning for it. It's not like we're being lazy and, like, overspending and doing all these things for, like, selfish reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also going out and experiencing the world is better than living on a computer or in your phone, right? So,
Yeah.
there you go. You can't complain about us being on our phone and chronically online when we're out there experiencing the world. Granted, we do tend to post about it a lot, but posting takes 2 minutes, less, if you're just posting a couple pictures of your experiences.
Yeah.
That's just a snapshot of what you did all day, okay?
It's true. It's true. We do post a lot on social media. Millennials were the creators of social media, which is funny
Right.
too because Gen Z complains about us being all what's the word? Cringe because of that, and it's like, "Hey, we developed the technology, like, you can't
We set
just."
the blueprint.
Yeah, totally. I think some of the things that Gen Z say annoys me so much because I'm not even that far like, I'm not that much older than
Mhm.
Gen Z. So, like, we literally had the same childhood, and when they say things about us, it just rubs me the wrong way. Some of the stuff they say, like us wearing the ankle high socks instead of the tall socks, I'm like, "It just looks better." I don't know what to tell you. I don't care that it's out of fashion.
Yeah, also, it's funny because my three-year-old loves the ankle socks versus the tall socks, and
See?
he's 3.
Yeah, it's coming back. This stuff with
Yes.
how we complain about how people dress is annoying to me because fashion is a cycle. And
Yeah.
and things come back all the time. I just find it really annoying that they always complain about how we dress. Skinny jeans, true, I hated that. I will say that is something I do not like that us millennials brought to the world. Or the low-waisted.
Yes. Yeah, low-waisted, no, let's not bring that back.
No.
High-waisted all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a millennial thing. Yeah, low-rise jeans or whatever, that was a mistake. Totally own that. Yep, absolutely. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Let's not bring that back.
Or the dresses over jeans.
Oh, ew. Yeah, you know what? I've been rewatching The OC, and Summer, Rachel Bilson's character, she was wearing that in the episode I was watching last night, and I was like, "Ew, what is she wearing?" And this was in, like, 2003, so It's like she was a millennial. She's
Yeah.
supposed to be in high school, and that's what they were wearing. That's horrible.
Yeah, there were some things back then, it's true, that I'm glad that I was too little to be wearing because it would've made me so
Yeah,
self-conscious, honestly. Like the
yeah.
thongs that go over the jeans too. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah. Yeah, I think that was, like, a big Cisco the Thong Song thing, which was also early 2000s. Do you remember that song?
I don't remember
Was
that
that early
song.
2000s? No, that might have been 90s. I don't remember. Oh my gosh, I don't remember. But I do remember that song, and I think that was, like, where that started.
Oh,
I could
man.
be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, when we're done here, you have to go look that song up. It's so good.
Okay, I will, I promise, and I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah.
With music, now that you brought that up, another thing that I saw Gen Z say about us is that we were obsessed with, like, indie music and the hipster culture, which I guess is true, but it's
Yeah.
again one of those complaints that is like, "So what?"
That's not a real who cares?
Or loving brunch.
Also, who cares? Yeah, that's okay, so you guys like electronic music. That music to me sucks, but well, not all of it actually, some of it's pretty good, but it's just not my thing,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna hate on that.
No.
Hating on someone's music taste is actually really annoying.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Agreed. No, because it's your
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. Like, I remember getting made fun of because I used to like the Backstreet Boys, and
Mm,
actually, I still love the Backstreet Boys because I still love them. Like, they're amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
But it was like that era where it was like NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys, and it was like, "Oh, you don't like NSYNC?" And then the Backstreet Boys people were like, "Ugh, you don't like Backstreet Boys?" It was such a war. So stupid. But anyway, team BSB all the way. And to be honest, I keep seeing their posts on Instagram about the Sphere. Like, you know how they have a residency in Vegas at the
Yeah.
Sphere? I'm dying to go see it. I'm sure it's so expensive, but I'm like, how can I make this happen? Because I really want to go see them.
Oh, yeah, I applied to a giveaway or something for that, actually. I did not get it. I
Oh,
would have brought you, obviously.
oh my gosh, I totally would have gone. That would have been awesome.
I
Man.
know. I know.
Oh, BSB forever.
Agreed. No, it is so true that complaining or criticizing someone's what people love, I think we talked about this in the haters episode, that really sucks.
I feel like, and I might be wrong, but because again, I'm a millennial and I think that we're perfect and beautiful and wonderful. But I think that we're the first generation who has truly cared about the environment. Am I wrong in that?
No, no, it's
Right? Like, I
true.
I feel like we are very like, we need to recycle. You need to compost. You need to clean your recyclables before you put them in the recycle bin. Stuff like that. And we're like, deforestation is not good. Don't do that kind of thing. Or let's take care of our oceans. Or like, we're running out of water, guys. Let's maybe think about that. Like, what is that going to do for the future generations? Not even necessarily for us while we're alive, but like, we're actually thinking ahead into what's this gonna look like for my kids? What's this gonna look like for my grandkids and great grandkids, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure that the previous generations were so good about doing that.
No, and they complain about us for being that way, for being so environmentally conscious and for wanting to have, like, ethically sourced products. They do complain
Mhm.
about that.
That's another thing. They complain about us spending more money on buying things that are like you said, ethically sourced. They complain about that. They're like, "Well, you shouldn't be spending money on that because you can't afford a house." And it's like, "Okay, but I only have one giant home, which is Earth, and I'm not gonna set it on fire because I don't want my house to burn."
Yeah. No, totally, they just don't get it, and it's annoying that they complain about it, 'cause we do need to think about the future generations.
Yeah.
They didn't, and now look at us, and now they be hating on us.
Because we care. How can you hate people who care? Come on. If you don't care, fine. Your time's up. Just go sit in the corner and let us take over.
Yeah. But speaking of that, like, another thing that they complain about is our do they call it an obsession? I don't know, that we care about mental health. So we care about the environment, we care about mental health, we care about being empathetic, and they don't like these traits about us. They're like, "You overshare too much." Yeah, you know what? I do tell people I go to therapy because it's good for you. I don't care.
Yeah,
And I share my
normalize.
salary so that we all know what people are capable of making. You know, this is how I discovered that at one of the companies I was working at, I was making less than a male colleague who started literally the same day as me. But then I got that
Ugh,
raise, but we had to talk. Good on him for telling me.
yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's good that we overshare and we care about mental health. It's just annoying that they complain about it. This is the older generation. Obviously, I think like Gen Z also cares about that too, which I won't get too much into
Mhm.
because we're talking about them next week. But you know what? I find it annoying that they complain about us because we didn't complain about Gen X, which is the generation right above us. And I'm thinking this internet culture that we're all online has opened up
Mm.
that possibility because we're sharing the internet. So then they get to complain about us. But I was like thinking about this earlier and I was like, shouldn't they be complaining about Gen X, their parents? Why are they being haters on us? We were just living our life, like whatever, not caring. And then suddenly they started attacking us and calling us chuggy and stuff.
What does that mean?
That means like cringe, I want to say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everybody has to hate on perfection, though. I'm telling you that this episode is not gonna be about how millennials suck. I'm having a hard time doing it.
It is because 'cause
But
we're the
it's
best, to be
true.
honest, but it's true. We are the best.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me tell you some sad facts about us. We entered the workforce during the major 2008 economic recession, which was one of the worst in history, by the way. We have faced high student loan debt and delayed traditional life milestones like homeownership. We've talked about this. We're adapting to modern tech trends, including high everyday comfort with artificial intelligence tools. So, you know what? This is a whole new world that we've had to deal with. And like, I think we're coping pretty well, all things considered.
No, honestly, we are, and we make great comedy out of our trauma.
Mhm.
It's true.
Yep. Yep, we do. That's what I think that's why social media is such a big part of our lives too, because we like that's our comic relief.
Yeah, and it is nice to see relatable content on there. Because before, I think it was harder for people to find communities and be like, "Oh, other people feel this too." So I think it's really good that we're more open about how we feel about stuff. And when I talk to my
Mhm.
friends who are obviously millennials too, or cousins and stuff, like we feel the same kind of disappointment with the way the world is and what we've inherited and how, because like you said, we had the opportunity to see the world before like the internet and stuff like that. And we had ideas of what the rules were like, okay, you work hard, you get promoted, you grow your wealth, you'll be fine.
Mhm.
And these rules just don't apply to us anymore. And I think that's why so many people, so many millennials, we feel like robbed and disappointed with that. Like our expectations are just not
Yeah.
being met.
Yep. I agree. I feel that.
Yeah. Oh, one thing we could talk about is our lingo. Because to be fair, there are things that millennials have come up with that I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, for example, I really did not like seeing, like, on Instagram, I did a thing, and then it's, like, a picture of them buying a home or having a baby. I don't know why I
Mhm.
did not like that saying. I also don't like doggo, to be fair.
Ew. Yeah. Doggo? No.
I also don't like how some millennials call their kids tiny humans. I'm not on board
Mm.
with that one.
Yeah.
Uh, I heard someone say that last week and I was like, "Ugh, don't like
Yeah.
that."
Yeah.
I also don't like "bae." Like,
Oh, yeah. One. I hate that one. The other one that I think is a millennial thing is like dog mom and dog dad.
oh,
Hate that
yeah,
one. I hate it.
yeah. So granted, I will say that some of our lingo, I'm like, "That was a miss." But stuff that I do like that Gen Z make fun of is like
Mhm.
YOLO. I like that one. I think it's a great
Yeah.
sentiment.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
FOMO,
Mhm.
FOMO as well,
Yep.
or cray cray. Like, that's a great way to describe someone who's insane or who does insane things.
Yeah. Did we come up with cringe, or is that the next generation?
You know what? I'm not sure because I do use it and it's been around for
I
a while.
Yeah, I like that one. I feel like we should just take it.
Yeah.
We should just claim it as ours.
Yeah. What else? Oh, I was today years old. Do you remember that
Oh,
one?
you don't like
I don't like that one that much. It doesn't bother me as much, but I'm trying to think, okay, what have we come up with that?
Mhm.
Another one that
Yeah, that one I'm neutral about. I don't really care that much.
yeah, yeah, I'm neutral, I think, with that one. And then another one that Gen Z seems to not like is "Let's effing go." I kinda like that one. It gives the
Hi.
energy. Energy, "Let's do it, yes."
Yeah, that reminds me of, like, going to sports games. Sports games, that's not that reminds me of going to games.
Yeah. No, it
Like,
does.
watching sports and, like, getting all amped up, like, "Let's effing go!"
Yeah, totally. Agreed. Anyway, so I think what I will concede then of reasons why we may suck just a little are some of the fashion things we came up with and some of this lingo that we've come up with. But in general, we're the best. There is no
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah, the things that I found online, because obviously I was like, "We don't suck. What could we possibly talk about?" I was like, "None of these things are real reasons. No."
Yeah. So I don't know if you're gonna be mad at me for the what I'm gonna say next, but there are just a couple things that I actually do think is annoying about our generation, and I wanna hear your
Okay.
opinion.
Okay,
I
go ahead.
still think we're the best though, like, we're awesome and we're gonna fix the world. But one thing that I do find annoying with certain people is that one thing they say about us is that we get very easily offended or something. But first of all, I'm
Mm,
like, "Okay, you are being offensive though, like older generations and their jokes and stuff like that." But what I don't like about our generation is that it seems like if you don't align with someone 100% as a friend, then it's like, "Okay, you don't align with my life, I cut you off," instead of, like,
mm,
being a bit more open-minded about
mm.
different
Opinions.
opinions, yeah, or roots, like where you came from. I think okay, like, we are open to people from all over the world, but sometimes people choose not to understand, like, why people say or act or believe certain things. They're like, "I
Mhm,
love that you're from this place, but, like, you need to assimilate to these ideas." Like, I
mhm,
don't know what it is. I don't like that fact that it seems like if people don't align 100%, then it's like conflict. And I think that
mhm.
in that sense, what I want from our generation is to be a little bit more to have more grace with people who have different opinions, basically. That's just
Yeah.
something I
No,
noticed,
absolutely.
like, the final years in college for me, is that's when it started to change. I think the next generation is a lot more like that. Like, you can't talk
Yeah.
about certain things in universities and, like, people get canceled all the time, but I'm saying that I think this crazy cancel culture kinda started with us. I saw a little bit of it, like, the
Oh,
final years of, like, my time in college. So that's one thing that I wanted to bring up as something that I don't really like about our generation.
yeah. Oh, so maybe we started cancel culture. That's so sad. I thought it was the next generation.
I think they're
I
more
hate
like
cancel
that,
culture.
but definitely, like, for the younger millennials, like, I started seeing that.
Yeah. That makes sense. I feel like when you're on the younger like, when you're on the bookmark end of a generation, you're gonna pick up on things from the previous or the following generation. I think that does make sense. But that sucks because now we have to take accountability for being the generation that started cancel culture. I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that either. But I do think it's more of the next generation, so I'm not gonna attribute it completely to us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing that I think is more the next generation, which I don't wanna get into, but I think that we do somewhat, is that I find
Mhm,
people are more flaky, like friends. People will just cancel on you. They won't show up to stuff on the excuse of boundaries, which is something I've talked about before.
mhm,
"Oh, I can't come to your event because I have anxiety," or it's like my self-care night. Stuff like that where I'm like, I feel like the value of friendship and
mhm,
family should be more important than that, which makes you seem a little selfish. So I think older generations sometimes say that we're a little selfish, and
mhm.
I don't fully agree with that because I do think we're great, but I also am like, okay, that's a little bit selfish if you're not showing up for your friends and being flaky, which I think is easier now, especially with social media and texting and stuff
Yeah,
and ghosting. I think that's also maybe one of the reasons why it's like that, but I don't like that about us.
yeah, that is annoying. Especially when you've had weeks to prepare for an event, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Actually, I can't go because it's my self-care night." That's annoying.
Yeah. So those were the only 2 things I really had that I have been personally affected by in my friendships that I think is negative about millennials.
Yeah. No, I agree with those 2. I agree. Those are
Yeah.
good, sucky things to bring up.
So yeah, I guess to conclude, do you have any other stories or things to share about millennials?
No, only great things.
Agreed. Agreed. We are the funnest generation, I will say that.
Yeah, we're the most yeah, I think we're funny. I think that we can go between 2 worlds of living in experiences, but also being pretty good in social media and, like, the tech world, so I think we're a great, well-rounded generation.
I think so too. Listeners, let us know what you think. What do you think about millennials? And do you have any things that we didn't talk about, like reasons why we suck, supposedly?
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'd like to hear. I'd like to see what you guys think.
Yeah, same. Well, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the WPS podcast. We said it so you didn't have to. We'll see you next time.
Bye, see you next time.